All right then. Welcome back to the Brooklyn Book Festival here at Borough Hall. My name is Carlos Abdu, Elf with Silly Hat, and I'm here with author Jevaka
Steptoe.
Jevaka Steptoe,
Yes.
author of The Jones Family Express and In Daddy's Arm, I Am Tall.
Yes.
Can you tell me about the creative process to make all these unique collages that you have over here with all of your books?
Okay, so what I basically do is I'm a collage artist, and being that I am a collage artist, I use all different sorts of materials. This is the first book I ever illustrated. It's called In Daddy's Arms, I Am Tall, and I use materials like paper and aluminum ceiling, straw hats, basketballs,
And mesh?
wood,
Wow.
mesh.
Wow.
And so basically what happens is that I read the poem, I read the words of the poem, and I listen to the words, and I just, just kind of make notes. Write the different things that I hear, see, feel, taste, touch, whatever. I just write it all down. And I try to, with the materials that I choose, I try to tell the stories through the materials. I want the materials to inform you as much about what the story is about or the poem is about as the words of the story. This one is called Lightning Jump Shot. Daddy's voice thunders. He shoots a lightning jump shot through a sweaty storm. And so, indoors we have basketball courts made out of wood. And then outdoors we have, the asphalt basketball courts, and we also have the fences. So instead of using paper or drawing directly onto the wood, I use the mesh, and the mesh represents the fences. The fences where when people play basketball, they put their stuff, so that, their bags or their good clothes or whatever, or sometimes they lean against the fence and things like that. So I just tried to take elements from the actual basketball game, basketball court, and bring them into my illustrations.
And that has a very beautiful 3D effect that is coming using the actual basketball and having the mesh around it. That is very, very good, very good.
Thank you.
I want to talk about the Jones Family Express.
Okay.
What is the Jones Family Express about?
Well, you know how they say that a lot of times when you write from what you know. And so the Jones Family Express came out of just like my family story. My grandmother, she had a triple bypass operation and she couldn't get around, and I had a friend who would travel around for work. And I was telling her about my grandmother, so my friend decided to send my grandmother postcards. And the postcards made my grandmother feel really good. So, being that this is a children's book, maybe a story about my grandmother might not be so exciting to a kid. But what I did was I created the character. His name is Stephen, and he has an Aunt Carolyn. And Aunt Carolyn, she comes into town and she travels all around and she has these wonderful stories. And Stephen enjoys the stories, so she decides to send him postcards. And so,
Can we see some of those images right here?
yes, I'm trying to open the book up to a good image, right? So this is Stephen. He's looking at some of the postcards that Aunt Carolyn has sent him, and Aunt Carolyn is coming into town, and he has to try to figure out what to get Aunt Carolyn. So he winds up going to a couple of stores.
Oh man, I love this shot right here.
He goes into Mr. Perkins' store, and Mr. Perkins has a real screechy voice. He goes into Miss Ruby's store, and being that I'm a Brooklyn artist, he's on Nostrand Avenue, and of course, like on Nostrand Avenue, you go into the West Indian neighborhood, so you got the West Indian store owners and stuff like that, and so he's trying to figure out what he wants to get, and what he winds up doing, and with the help of his Uncle Charles, is he winds up making a gift for Aunt Carolyn. And so the gift that he makes for Aunt Carolyn is a train. And the train has pictures of everybody in the family, and basically, just thinking about, maybe her being lonely or whatever when she travels or is away from the family, she could always look at the train and, feel some sort of joy or happiness.
Do you think this inspired young children in order to experiment with new mediums to make something that has a positive message?
I think so. A lot of times I go into schools and I do artwork with kids, and kids want to express themselves. They want to talk about their lives. They want validation in their lives, and I think when I do an art project with kids, think about the people in your family that have meant the most to you, that have given you good experiences and things like that. They get to look at their family and see the goodness in their family and see the value in themselves. So definitely. And then, when I show them artwork like this where I'm using buttons and, all sorts of materials that they find in their own household, it kind of lets them see the value of the things that are in their environment and to look at things in different ways. And, a hammer or a barrette doesn't just have to be a barrette. It could be a part of a artwork or something like that.
Where can people find these books?
Definitely on the web, Jevaka.com, JAVAKA.com. You could go to your local store. If they don't have them, you could always beat them up and tell them, get my book.
That sounds like a valuable option.
Don't beat them up.
Well, Jevaka, it was very good meeting you.
Good meeting you.
Good luck with all your work. I'd like to see more from you. This is Carlos Abdu, signing up.